What it do, bruh? Talk of the town, Nintendo, Doc Trey still holding it down, still make the best games, and you know this, bro. It's the truth. You don't like it, you can have that seatbelt. So, surprise, surprise, Nintendo is sicking their lawyers on the U.S. government. Yes, Nintendo is suing over these tariffs, and I find this very hilarious because, as you guys know, if you guys have been following my channel and even on Twitter, you know all of the people damage controlling trying to tell me what tariffs don't affect regarding Nintendo. And I told you guys, even when Nintendo came up with that PR speak about how, we didn't really factor tariffs into the Nintendo Switch 2. Yeah, I told you that was PR BS, and they just didn't want to get into that political debate. But now that hundreds of companies are suing to get their tariff money back, Nintendo of America said, hey, might as well. So this is an article written by Kotaku. It says, Nintendo suing United States government over Trump's tariffs. The Mario company wants its money back with interest, according to the newly filed lawsuit. It says Nintendo of America is suing the United States Treasury Department, Homeland Security, and Customs and Border Protection to get money back it paid the United States government as a result of President Donald Trump's controversial tariffs that were deemed illegal by the Supreme Court last month. In the lawsuit filed with the U.S. Court in International Trade on Friday, Nintendo lawyers argue that since February 1st, 2025, President Trump has collected money from companies shipping products into the United States via unlawful executive orders imposing tariffs on imports from a long list of countries around the world. Okay, it says Nintendo of America has standing to sue because it is the importer of record for goods that were subject to the tariffs. The company also claims it has directly suffered injury from these illegal Trump order tariffs. In April of 2025, Nintendo was forced to delay pre-orders of the Nintendo Switch 2 and later raised prices on some accessories as a result of Trump's worldwide tariffs. Says Nintendo's lawyers add that the company will suffer imminent and irreparable harm for the tariffs it is paid if the court doesn't force the federal government to pay back what it's owed with some interest. And it says, why is Nintendo suing Trump? As to why Nintendo is suing the U.S. government to get back money it paid on access tariffs over the last year, its lawyers explained in the filing that unless the company goes after the United States in court, there's no guarantee that it will ever get its money back. Now, that said the real reason why they're filing this lawsuit is that even though the courts ruled that these tariffs were illegal and that they're supposed to give the money back, there's no guarantee how long it would take for that money to come back and if the money would actually come back. Because you see that they're expecting pretty much Trump and the government to give them the runaround. So they're like, no, we're going to make this an official lawsuit so we get our money. And honestly, they are not the first company that is suing over these tariffs. There's like over 100 companies that are, and Nintendo just threw their name in the hat. Now, this is especially funny if you've seen what I've been telling you guys about these tariffs this whole time. In light of this recent news, it would be a good idea to go back and watch some of those videos that I did on this very subject. Because in hindsight, yeah, as with most things Doc Trey related, aged like a fine wine. So yeah, but another thing that I find interesting, I've actually been seeing some people online saying, I mean, what's this gonna do? All it's gonna do is give money back to Nintendo. Are we getting a refund? Like, why would you get a refund? Nintendo is the only company that didn't raise the price of their system. They raised the price of the Switch, the original Switch, but who's still buying a regular Switch? They didn't raise the price of the Switch 2. They kept it the same. Even though people thought at the freaking first of this year that they will raise the price. They have kept the price still steady despite additional tariffs being having to be paid even pre Switch 2 launch. So there's been additional tariffs on top of that, right? Nintendo kept the Switch 2 price the same. Sony and Microsoft have both raised their prices. Microsoft has raised theirs twice since. So they're pretty much eating the cost of these tariffs because they want to keep the Switch 2, at least at the moment or for the foreseeable future, they want to keep the Switch 2 at the price point that it's at. Now, they did add some additional cost to some accessories that you did not have to buy. You didn't have to buy these accessories. And even then, it was like a few dollars here and there. It wasn't like wasn't like what Sony and Microsoft did, where they increased the price $50, $100, whatever, or more, depending on which model we're talking about. So pretty much Nintendo has been, for the most part, just eating the cost of these tariffs. And I told you guys before the Switch 2 even came out, and when these tariff talks were going around, that they had priced the Switch 2 in anticipation of potential tariffs from the get-go. That's why the system is $450. But when these tariffs actually got in place, the percentage just actually ended up being a lot more than they even guessed. So that's why they are pretty much, this is why they are suing, because not only was there tariffs, but it was even higher than they anticipated, and then there was additional tariffs and stuff like that. But yeah, Nintendo's lawyers on the case, yeah, I don't see them losing this at all, especially considering the Supreme Court has already ruled technically in their favor. So this is just them making sure they get their money in a timely manner. And I think one of the main reasons that they are suing and want this money now is because I think that with the presumable cost of how much these new consoles are going to come out, along with the price of memory and stuff going up, I think they see the value in trying to keep the Switch 2 at its current price as long as possible. And if they sue the government and they get reimbursed for the money they pay for tariffs,